Hello, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video, I'm going to go over mounting and dismounting in a Western saddle. So I'm going to start with my hip right at the horse's shoulder. I'm going to put my left hand on the horn and I'm going to turn the stirrup towards me with my right hand, slide my foot in, grab onto the back of the saddle with my right hand, and I'm going to look in this direction over the seat of the saddle. That's going to help me hop, transfer my weight onto my left stirrup. Here I'm easily braced with my leg bones and my two arm bones. I can hang out here for as long as I want. I don't have to be strong. This isn't about arm strength. This is me using the bones of my skeleton. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to place it here, right on top, sort of where my fender connects to my seat. And then I'm going to swing my right leg over and using my left leg and my right arm, ease myself down into the saddle. To dismount, it's going to be the exact same thing, but in reverse. So often, once my foot's in the stirrup, I'll take my foot out. I'll have both my hands in the front. I'm going to make sure that even if I do have to lean forward a little bit to brace on the front of the saddle, I'm keeping my chin up as much as possible. I'm going to swing my right leg a couple times, transfer my weight forward onto my hands and my left leg, and I'm going to swing my leg over. From here I can twist and kind of look straight ahead. Now I'm supporting myself with my left stirrup and my right thigh and hip that's along the saddle. I'm going to transfer my weight onto my hip and my two arms, take my left foot out, and slide straight down. Hello, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video, we're going to talk about walking in your Western saddle. So I'm going to start with doing sort of a systems check from the top of my body down. Starting with my head, I'm going to make sure that my chin is level, that even though I'm neck reining and I'm holding both of my reins in one hand, my shoulders are level. A lot of Western riders have the habit of bringing their rein hand shoulder too far forward, so I want to make sure that my throat is long, my shoulders are back and even, and I'm sitting back from my waist the amount that allows me to feel my two seat bones in the saddle. I'm still going to have my toes out at a 45-degree angle, my heels down, and I'm going to push harder with the big toe part of my foot than the pinky toe part of my foot. And now I'm just going to slowly start to move my Equicizer, alternating my right hip and my left hip to mimic the motion of my horse's hind end when it's walking. I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on taking the motion of my hip and pedaling it out down into my stirrups. So if I made this really big and obvious for the video, it would look like this: right, left, right, left, right, left. And if you're having trouble feeling this pedaling motion, where you're really using one individual hip and then pushing that down into your heels, you can practice it really big like this. That's the benefit of having an Equicizer. That's the genius of this tool. And then once you really feel that side-to-side motion, you can work on making it a little bit smaller until you're keeping your top line perfectly steady and you're just moving your pelvis and dropping into your heels. I recommend practicing each gait for about 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Hello everyone, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video, we're going to talk about sitting your trot. So to begin my sitting trot, I'm going to do my quick little systems check. Chin up, throat open, shoulders back, rein hand close to my body and centered. I'm going to make sure that I'm sitting back so I can feel my two seat bones in the saddle, because that's what's going to give me good connection for my weight distribution in the sitting gait. Toes out, heels down, pushing harder with the big toe part of my foot than the pinky toe part of my foot. And I'm going to go ahead, and in this sitting trot, I'm going to really accentuate my left hip, right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip, right hip motion, because this is how our horse's hind end travels. Some quarter horses have a very small, slow show ring jog, so in that case, you might really slow the motion down, right, left, right, left, right, left. But as anyone knows, horses come in all shapes and sizes with different gaits, and some horses have bouncier, more dynamic gaits. So then you can practice if you're sitting a trot that's a little bit longer or a little bit bigger or a little bit more disruptive to the rider. But I'm really concentrating on that left, right rotation with my seat bones. I can also drive it even bigger as though I wanted to extend my horse forward and have them bring their hind end under them more. I can also make it smaller as if I was just following them, and then I can even make it smaller still if I want them to come to a halt. I recommend practicing each motion at each gait for about 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Hello, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video, I'm going to demonstrate how to practice cantering in your Western saddle. Since you can see my left leg, I'll go ahead and cue my horse with my left leg as though they were going to be picking up their right lead. So if I'm in my trot position and I decide that I'm ready to canter, I'm going to put my right foot down, bend my left knee to bring my left lower leg back and cue my horse up into the canter, and then I'm going to start with my right canter lead. Now, in the beginning, it's tricky to do one seat bone at a time. So often I'll recommend my riders practice both seat bones simultaneously. Behind, under, behind, under, behind, under, behind, under. So I'm reaching back with my hips, and then I'm driving under, 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 under. And with this, I can have a lot of motion with my heels and my legs as I'm absorbing the motion of the horse beneath me and having that pedaling motion. And then to start to emulate my horse's canter lead, I can use just my left seat bone, and I can use just my right seat bone. So often the exercise that I recommend to riders is to get started with both seat bones originally, and then move left for 5, left, 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 middle to get reset with both seat bones, and then right, 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 and then middle again. I recommend practicing your cantering motion, both seat bones and then one and the other, for about 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Hello, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video I'm going to take you from a walk to a trot to a canter, back to a trot to a walk and a halt again, using our aids so you can practice the application of rein and leg aid as well as the body motions and rider positions while you're using your Equicizer. So if I was here at a halt, the first thing I would think about doing is taking both my legs, putting them up and in to practice using both legs at the same time to cue that upward walk transition. I would then release my legs and start going left seat bone, right seat bone, left seat bone, right seat bone. As I'm walking, my chin is up, my throat is open, my shoulders are open, my rein hand is neutral, my pelvis is moving, and I'm pedaling the motion of the horse out from under me. My toes are out, my heels are down, and I'm pushing harder with the big toe part of my foot than the pinky toe part of my foot. Now, to cue a trot, we'll use both legs again. So from here, both legs will come up and in, squeeze and hold. My horse will move into a trot, and now I'm going to have a more active, little bit quicker, shorter, right, left, right, left motion with my pelvis. Again, thinking about dropping my heels and absorbing the motion of the horse out. From here, I'm going to say, okay, it's time to canter. I'm going to cue my horse onto my right lead using my left leg. So I'm going to bring this leg back, kick and hold. My horse is going to move off into a canter, and I'm going to begin cantering with my right lead. I recommend that you stay in each gait for maybe about a minute before you make the next transition. This will give you time to find it, settle into it, and replicate it with a couple repetitions before you move on. To downward transition to a halt, I'm going to freeze my pelvis, squeeze with my thighs a little bit, take with my rein slightly, lean back here. When I do this, chink, that's going to bring my horse back down to a trot, and now I can go back to my left, right, trotting motion. And then again to walk, I'm going to freeze the motion of my pelvis, sit back, take a little rein, bring my pelvis up and under and say, easy walk. And then from here, move on into that single left, right motion of walking. And then to halt, chin up, take with my reins, feet in front of me, whoa. And that's how you ride all of your gaits, including your aids, on your Equicizer. Hello, it's Solange from Stable Riding, and in this Equicizer video, I'm going to talk about the different actions that you can have with your pelvis to create impulsion and a driving motion, but also how to halt the motion of your pelvis to slow or stop your horse. For this example, I'm going to use just a basic hips behind me and under me sitting canter, simply because it's the most obvious for the video. So So what I want to illustrate is how to drive your horse, how to follow your horse, and then how to stop, because these are very important things. The story that I tell my students about driving your horse forward is when they're sticky about going forward past something. A lot of times on trail or at an event you'll encounter something new that your horse doesn't want to ride past. I know a lady whose horse takes great umbrage to cows, and when her horse gets by cows, she's like, I'm not walking past those cows. So I use her lovely horse and his displeasure around cows as an example for the story. So if I'm cantering along and everything's cool, we're having a nice time, and then all of a sudden there's cows over there, and I can feel my horse going, I'm not going over there because there's cows. I want to give them a little bit more encouragement with my seat bone to drive my horse forward, to tell them if you just keep going, you won't see the cows in a minute. So how I create more of a push and a drive is I really accentuate the motion of my pelvis, and I think about really reaching back behind me and then hooking my horse forward. So this would be the application of my driving aim. I'm applying my driving aim to encourage my horse to go forward mechanically with my pelvis. And then once my horse is going the speed I want, or we're past the cows, now I can go back to just gently following my horse. Where I have the motion, but I'm not over moving because I'm following the motion that the horse is providing me with. And then when it comes time to collect my horse and have a slower stride, to restrain my horse, come going faster if it's trying to get out from under me, or to create a downward transition or to halt, I'm going to cease the motion of my pelvis. And I cease the motion of my pelvis by tightening my abdominal muscles in my lower back and squeezing just a little bit with my thighs. And that's what brings my hips to a rest. Being able to encourage your horse to go forward, but also slower stop your horse with your weight aids is a really vital skill that we receive a lot of questions about. So we hope that this video helps you understand a little bit better how to practice that technique on your Equicizer.